Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining us. I'm excited to be your host again for this week's edition of the SME Roundtable. I am Femi Boboye, and we'll be having a conversation today about something that is very important for business owners, something we think they should pay attention to. Um, just before we go into what we have to talk about today, I would just quickly like to do a brief introduction of who we are and what we do. We are pest consulting, management consulting firm that provides services that aid organization in achieving their growth and expansion targets. We are committed to strengthening the internal capacities and processes of organizations to enable them to become more profitable, sustainable, and scalable. We've been running this show for close to 2 years right now, and we are not alone on this journey. We have the privilege of having partners such as Stam TV, Fat Corner, who have been enabling us to reach a wider audience with what we do on a weekly basis. Peradventure, you are looking at how to be abreast of what we do. All you have to do is very simple. Just follow us on all our social media platform, like us, and you'll be updated on what we have per time. So we don't waste much of your time today. What we are talking about today is something that we find very, very interesting. Sometimes ago, we did talk about risk management of an organization. One of the major ways to manage risk is insurance. And today we have been able to bring in an expert who works for one of the leading insurance organizations in the country. We will be doing justice to some of the insurance policies and platforms and plans that are available for you as a business owner that you could leverage to hedge your risk against. So I will lead him to do justice to that. The guest that we have today is none other than Andrew Faluyi, who is an financial and insurance advisor with AIICO Insurance, and he will be talking to us today about the benefit of insurance for you as a business owner. Uh, I will advise that you get your pen, your jotter, and everything that you need to have beside you, and we'll take your questions after the session. Uh, Mr. Andrew Fali, over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Boboye. Um, Thank you very much for having me here. I'm really glad to be here. Basically, to talk about insurance, what I really love doing, and also how it can be of great advantage to business people, just to enlighten them. Because I've come to understand that a lot of people have a lot of assumptions on insurance, and they don't really know what insurance is all about and how they can leverage the opportunities in the insurance industry. Yeah, so I will be starting straight with what actually is insurance. Insurance has several definitions. It has both technical and layman definitions. But I've just summarized insurance as very simple, an agreement between the insurer and the insured. The question may come that who is an insurer? Who is the insured? The insurer is simply the insurance company, while the insured is whether the individual or the organization. And insurance is that platform that brings about a contract between both parties. So it enlightens them on what they have to gain by the particular policy they sign up for. So basically, that's what insurance, just the simple definition of insurance. We could also have a better definition that insurance is full of risk, where many people contribute towards a common fund, and it's only those who suffer loss that are compensated and indemnified. You could say that, okay, many people contribute towards a common risk. So, and it's only those who suffer the loss that are compensated and indemnified. So, at a very basic level, it is some form of protection from any possible financial loss, just as I also put in my slide here. But a lot of principles govern the activities of insurance, both in Nigeria and outside the country, globally. There are certain principles that govern their operations, and you can call them rules, you can call them principles. Most times failure to abide by these rules, by these principles, leads to a lot of issues. These principles are the core of insurance. Those are the things that both the insurer and the insured need to abide by. The first principle is utmost good faith. Utmost good faith is like the real Latin word for utmost good faith is uberrimai fidei, which simply says that the insured must disclose all relevant information to the insurer at the inception of any insurance policy. That's simply the name. So, be it an individual, be it an organization, at the point of taking any insurance policy, at the point of engaging any insurance company for an insurance policy, the insured needs to disclose all relevant information as regards that policy. And the second one is insurable interest. Insurable interest simply means that the insured must have interest in the subject matter of insurance. What I mean by subject matter of insurance here may be a life, it may be a property. You understand? Because basically in insurance, we have these two basic subdivision of insurance. We have the life insurance and we have the general insurance. General insurance can also be called property insurance, or under general insurance, we have different types of general insurance. We have house insurance, we have motor vehicle insurance, we have goods and transit insurance, we have marine insurance. There's a lot. That's under general insurance. Under life insurance, we also have series of life. Life insurance can even be subdivided into whole life, endowment, some pure risk. All those ones, life insurance can be subdivided into all that. Now, the particular insurance you want to take determines where you fall, whether you are under property or you are under life. Now, what this insurable interest, the principle of insurable interest simply states that for you to insure anything, you should have interest in that thing. The interest here is not, sorry, I'm receiving a lot of calls. I'm just trying to put my phone aside. So the interest we are talking about here is not that you should like the property or you should like what you want to insure. What we are saying is that you must have financial interest. You must be the owner of what you want to insure. So somebody cannot say, because I like insurance or I want to take an insurance policy, now I want to insure somebody else's property. Such a situation, you don't have the insurable interest, and that alone has defeated the principle of insurance. Now, the third one there is indemnity. Indemnity is simply talking about compensation. That is, just like I gave earlier, insurance, that insurance is a pool of risk. That is, many people contribute towards a common risk or common loss. And it's only those who suffer that loss that will be compensated and indemnified. So indemnity is talking about the principle of compensation. To the benefits of insurance to business growth. Now, but we need to understand all this so that we can appreciate the benefits. So that when you're having any engagement with any insurance transaction, any insurance policy, any insurance plan, you already understand the principles. Some of these principles are for the insurance company, while some of them are for the insured. Now, subrogation, which is the fourth one. Subrogation simply says that in an event of loss, if it is a total loss, the insurance company now has the right over the remains, let's say in a motor vehicle accident, now it's like a total loss. The insurance company replaces the car for the insured. But the leftover, what is left in that motor accident is the insurance company that takes charge of that. That's in the case of a total loss. So subrogation simply says that the insured loses his right over the property that was damaged, having received a full compensation from the insurance company. Just like the example I gave, they've given him a brand new car. So the vehicle that was involved with the accident, insurance company now takes over the scrap. That's what that subrogation is talking about. That's like a nice analogy for that subrogation. Now, contribution simply, which is the fifth one, contribution simply talking about in a situation where more than one insurance company is insuring the same risk. Now, this majorly applies in property insurance. Property insurance, when you're insuring a property, if more than one insurance company is insuring one property, at the time of loss, those insurance companies will share the risk, they will share the loss, they will share a certain percentage to compensate that the insured, which is whether the individual or the company. Now, the reason for that is simply because the purpose of insurance is to bring you back to the position you were before the loss occurred. The main purpose of insurance is not for profit making. Though over the years, insurance has been modified, we now have investments, we now have other things attached to insurance. But the main purpose of insurance is to tackle uncertainties, is to address risk. And definitely, whenever a risk occurs, it brings about losses. And when a loss occurs, the job of insurance is to reinstate the insured. Insured in this case may be an individual, maybe an organization, maybe a business, to return them back to the position they were before the loss occurred. Now, the reason for contribution is, just like I said, it's a situation where a lot of insurance companies are insuring just one property. So at the time of loss, they will also share the loss amongst themselves. So it's not as if the insured will be compensated by insurance company A, it will also be compensated by insurance company B, it will also be compensated by insurance company C by the full value of the loss. But the loss will be shared and it will get compensation from all of them that will now sum up to make 100%. The whole idea is to bring the person back to the position he was before the loss occurred. So basically, that's the principle of subrogation. Now, and the last one there is proximate cause. Now, proximate cause simply talks about in a situation of loss, all these principles are geared towards how to handle a loss when it occurs. You understand? While the first one is talking about disclosing all material facts at the point of at the beginning of the policy. Now, proximate cause, which is the last one, simply states that if any loss occurs, now the loss that occurred is an event. What was the proximate cause? What was the root cause of that loss that occurred? So the reason for that is for us to ascertain, for the insurance company to ascertain, okay, who was really at fault in this case? Now, the insured is covered, but the proximate cause is about reducing negligence of people. So once they now find out the root cause of the matter, that's when they will now know, okay, is the actual person who caused this loss, is the person insured? Does the person have any insurance company around this? So they can now get compensation from that insurance company whose insured is the root cause of a loss. So that's the principle of proximate cause. So we can, these are the basic principles, though there are a lot of things to talk about each principle, but because of time, I just need to summarize like that. But those are the basic understanding of all those principles. So these 6 principles are the principles that guide all insurance activities. So it's very good for individuals, business people to understand these principles so that they will avoid stories when it is time for their claim. There will be no room. There will be no room for any insurance because as we speak now, the insurance industry is so regulated that claims payment is part of what adds to the credibility of a particular insurance company. So insurance companies don't want to have any reason not to pay claims. That's why we enlighten insureds, that is individuals and companies from time to time, so that they can know these principles, so that they will not knowingly or unknowingly breach this, go against these rules, so that nothing will prevent their full compensation. So I can go to the next slide now. Now, this is like a case study. If you read through what is here, whether you are a sole trader, social enterprise, limited company, public liability, you run a local business, we all need to obtain insurance coverage to compensate for the financial consequences of an unforeseen incident. Just like I said earlier, there's a case study after this, which I will summarize. Just like I said earlier, that the purpose of insurance is to mitigate risk, to manage risk. Now, every individual is exposed to a lot of risk. Now, every individual that has any property, those properties are exposed to series of risk. That's why you don't have one type of insurance. You have different types of insurance to manage different types of risk. Because some people feel, I have insurance, I already have insurance, not knowing that the insurance they have has little or no significance to the risk they are exposed to. Someone can have a third-party motor insurance and is saying that, I already have insurance. I don't need insurance. I already have insurance. Forgetting that even the third-party motor vehicle insurance that is exposed to a risk of accident, that covers the risk of accident, third party does not even cater for the risk a motor vehicle is exposed to. But because the individual does not understand, it just says, I have insurance. So now, the same thing too with businesses. Businesses don't really understand the value of insurance to their business. And that is why programs like this was set up. And I will do justice to all that as well. So this is a case study talking about the importance of insurance to a business owner. This is like a hairdresser, someone who is running a hairstylist running her business, but she experienced a financial loss as a result of and the incidence of a fire outbreak to her business. Now she never prayed for it. She never, as a matter of fact, that was the last thing. She never even expected it. She didn't want it to happen to her enemy, but it occurred. And that's why insurance was set up, because a lot of the things that happen in life, they are not things you pray for. The negative things, the things we pray for are positive things. The negative things that still happen despite our prayers, that's why insurance now comes in. So this woman was doing her business, doing well in business, but on a fateful day, she went home. Just a few minutes later, she closed the business for the day. She was involved in a fire outbreak started in a salon. Now, before she could get there, it had damaged a lot of things. You understand? And luckily for her, she had an insurance, which was able to reinstate her to the position she was before the loss occurred. Now, in a situation where if she had no insurance, she would have started from scratch again. Now, remember the case study, if you read through it, is 16 years of labor. This is a business she built for 16 years and fire damaged it. The only saving grace was because she had the adequate insurance. Remember, note my word, I didn't say she had an insurance. She had the proper insurance. Because if she had a motor vehicle insurance and her shop got burnt, the shop, which is the source of the income, that was where she got the money to buy the vehicle. If she had only a motor vehicle insurance and she didn't have a shop insurance or an insurance for her business, it was as good as she didn't have insurance. But the saving grace was because she had the adequate insurance, the proper insurance. So there's a difference between having insurance and having a proper insurance. And that's why a lot of enlightened people, what they do is they start with the key insurance, the insurance that determine the, the, the bulk of their income. The insurance that protects where the bulk of their income comes from. So, and also they take insurance to cover the things that matter the most to them. Because insurance, no one insurance can cover all the things that matter most to you. But in this case study, now the owner of the salon was lucky because she had the adequate insurance. So just like I said, it's also important to have the adequate insurance, not just to have an insurance policy. Now, what is business insurance? Which is like in a way getting closer to the topic for the day, which is how insurance can help business growth. So, business seek insurance to cover potential damage to property, protect from lawsuits or contract disputes. Business insurance coverage protects businesses from losses due to events that may occur during the normal course of business. What this is simply saying, just like I said earlier, that all businesses, your line of business determines the type of insurance you should take. A business that is centered around importing goods from outside the country into Nigeria, that's the type of business you do. You bring goods from outside the country into Nigeria. It is important that you have an insurance that covers that type of business line. It's important. Not just having any insurance, but probably the person just takes probably just a children education insurance and he feels that has catered for his business. You understand? So what I'm trying to say in essence is that your line of business determines the type of insurance you are meant to take, determines the benefits of insurance that is accrued to you that you can enjoy based on your line of business. So I proceed. Now these are some types of business insurance, like what you can read here. Running a business comes with inherent risk. An employee could get injured on the job. A natural disaster could destroy property. A client could file suit and all that. Now, what that is simply saying is that now, getting an insurance for your business cuts across different things. One is to safeguard the income of the business, which is when you're even talking about the income of the business, that also is on two sides. Now, the line of business, like the example of those in importation that I gave, such a business person needs a marine insurance. Now, what this is trying to say is that now the people who are your staff members, who are even helping you generate that income, who are working for you, is also important for you to insure them. Because if anything happens to a key staff, if anything happens to a key staff of your organization, it can go a long way in destroying the company. It can go a long way in affecting the company. Now, especially for small businesses who are yet to have standard structures, where a business can thrive with or without the presence of someone. Now, even businesses that have structures, as a matter of fact, they're even the ones that don't joke with insurance. How much more businesses are here to have structures where you have some key staff that are really important to your organization. So it's also very important for you to have your insurance that covers them. There are different types of insurance that addresses that too as well, that covers your staff. So there are many types of insurance or businesses, including coverage for property, legal liability. So the first one here is property insurance, product liability insurance, vehicle insurance, business interruption insurance. Now, property insurance, that one is quite clear. It's strictly towards your properties. Now, property insurance is subdivided into the particular property you are talking about. The insurance you take for a motor vehicle is not the insurance you take for your house. You understand? No, just like I said earlier, no one insurance can cover all your risk. You understand? But some risk have been categorized. Some risk have been categorized where you can take an insurance policy that will cater for those sets of risk. Now, though I can always shed more light on that later. So vehicle insurance, that's a motor vehicle insurance. Well, we already know about that. A lot of us know about motor vehicle insurance. As a matter of fact, that's the one most people know and they feel they have insurance. But at least with this session now, we'll understand better that insurance goes beyond just motor vehicle insurance. And to also see the link between getting the right insurance for your business and for the growth of your business. Yeah, the business interruption insurance, that's also another type of insurance that you can take to ensure that if anything happens to your business, you will not really feel the impact for long. Because just like the analogy I gave earlier, about the business, that the woman who insured her business and she was able to take an insurer who insured her business and she was compensated. So business she started for 16 years, she didn't need to go and start the business all over because she had the adequate insurance. I will need to rush now because of time. Benefits of insurance for business growth. A strong and exclusive insurance market boosts the productivity of enterprises of all sizes by enabling entrepreneurs to pursue higher risk. So this is simply saying that when you have an adequate insurance in place, you have that peace of mind to take greater risk because you know that you have a backing. Just like I always give the analogy of a vehicle that is going on the highway and it has a spare tire. The way you move on the highway will be different from a vehicle moving on that same highway without a spare tire. That's simply what this is talking about. This helps your business massively. It helps you to think straight on the business. You don't need to worry about what if a loss occurs to my business. You know you're already covered. Now, insurance also enables the business owners to concentrate on their work. I've also said that as well. There's no fear of loss due to risk and uncertainty, especially the peculiar one that is around your line of business, because all businesses have peculiar risk that they are exposed to. So now this is also another one. It says an adequate business insurance plan can help business expand easily. So if you have an insurance that covers your business, you have, as we speak now, you have insurance that business people can take that in 3 to 5 years, they can comfortably expand and open other branches of their business easily because they took the appropriate insurance. They can open another branch in Abuja if you are in Lagos. You can open another branch in other states because you have taken the adequate type of insurance, and that will also go a long way in increasing your profit. So these are like top 10 reasons why you need insurance. It's the law. You could get sued. Keep your business up and running. Makes you look credible. That's very important because there are some people who will not even do business with you. They will not give you clients if you don't have an insurance policy that covers your line of business. It also protects your employees too as well. When employees know that you have them covered, they will give their best. It will also it's like a ripple effect. Once they give their best, it will improve it will show in your sales, it will show in your profit as well. Now covers acts of God too. These are unforeseen circumstances, things like if your business is affected by natural disaster like a flood, it has affected a lot of businesses. Just look at what happened during the NSAS. A lot of businesses were affected by that. That's not even act of God, but these are things that happens that you can't think of. You understand? It might be one-off, but whenever it happens, it can cause a lot of loss to a business you built for years. Now, also helps to attract and retain employees. As I've said that earlier, that your employees will be comfortable staying with you because they know that they are covered, they have the right insurance that covers them. Also, because you cannot predict the future. This applies to both individuals and businesses. You can't predict the future. You understand? That's why you need to take the adequate insurance that covers them. I think I've been able to just run through. I always believe that the heart of every presentation is in the questions. So I know when questions come up, I'll be able to address more things and talk about the areas that really pertain to our audience and all that. Thank you very much for this session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. I know you have delivered a power-packed session in short, in under 30 minutes, and you've done really well. And however, personally, I have a lot of questions that I would love to ask you.
Okay,
But
that's
one
fine.
thing we can say is this: can you drop your email address so that some of the feedback that we are getting, the questions can be forwarded to you. If we
Okay,
can then reach back to people with the answers. That is one. Because personally, I would have preferred that you also explain further about the how insurance can help one grow business, how you can the types of insurance that business owners should be looking at. I know we've looked
okay,
at it in actually the services that you also have at your organization that people can easily jump onto, because I'm sure that majority of the audience who may be interested are like, because majority may be hearing this for the very first time, and they
okay,
now want to know, okay, the next action, what do they do? So I think if you can provide us your email address right now, we can put it
okay,
on the screen for everybody to see. But in
okay,
the meantime, will be also be collating all of the feedbacks, the questions that we'll be having from all the entrepreneurs and the business owner that will be engaging with this your session, to
okay,
also we push them to you and then give back your feedback. And if it is something that we might need you to just come back again and have further conversation, because the majority of business owners are particular about growing their businesses and protecting their businesses, from our own experience. So we want you to delve further on that, because now you have given us a broad understanding of how it is and how it can be useful to our businesses. Now we want you to, maybe in subsequent editions, then we can then talk further about that. So please, your email address so that we can wrap today's edition up, because our time is fast spent.
okay, okay. Okay, I'll send you my personal email address. My email address is just my name, surname at gmail.com. Andrew Faluyi at gmail.com.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we are at it now, andrewfally@gmail.com. So, okay, let me put it up there for people to see. andrewfally@gmail.com. Andrew Fally. A minute. Andrew Fally at gmail.com. Okay.
And
All
except you
right.
feel, except any of them, you can also later share my contact with them if it's any urgent thing they need to solve and probably they need response to or something.
Mm,
Because I know some people may even be having some insurance cases that they need solution to and all that. So I
mm.
could also help with that as well. It really
That's
just
fantastic.
yeah, yeah,
That's fantastic.
that's not a
So
problem.
I think what we have done today is
I'm on
just to
WhatsApp.
lay the
They
foundation.
can drop the message to me on WhatsApp.
I
Okay.
think the major thing is just to lay the foundation for us today. I think this is just the beginning of a long conversation because of the insurance and the
Sure,
ever-changing
sure, sure. Because insurance is
landscape.
very wide.
Yes, yes, and I'm sure we've spoken with some of our clients who are having one issue or the other one, insurance issue. Now that we have you, we can be having further conversations with you and stuff like that.
Sure.
Thank you so much once again for availing us your time and for sharing with us. Like I said, we'll be looking forward to further uh, explore this topic because the implication of this is quite enormous for us all as a business owner. Um,
Yeah,
and once again, I want um, to appreciate all our listeners out there who have been listening and joining this edition of SMA Roundtable. We do hope that you gain one thing or the other to help you take your business to the next level. Do not forget, we're not going to stop until we see you succeed. And we're in this journey together. So, and if you need any of our service, just send email to us at info@bestconsulting.com, or you can send to, depending on the service you're looking out for, you can also send me to me.boboyi@bestconsulting.com. We'll be happy to respond to your email. Keep your questions coming in, and we'll get it across to our facilitator for today, who will then get it across to you. Thank you so much. Until next week, uh, keep being the best that you can. All right. Bye.